I'm Nathan Lusk with Warrior with a Pen Games, and today I'm bringing you a brand new game called ZombArena. It is, I know what you're thinking, you're too late to get into the zombie genre. This game is very different than any zombie game you've played. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world where the zombie apocalypse has occurred and finally was contained, but only after some real losses by the population on the planet. And now the main form of entertainment on TV is called ZombArena. They take criminals, put them into an arena where it's basically a one-on-one fight where each one directs zombies toward his opponent while trying to find weapons to defend himself from the zombies his opponent sends after him. Whichever player survives the arena is the winner and is allowed to go free. However, there's no guarantee that either player will survive the arena. So, now that you know the background, let me show you how the game plays out. It's very simple. First, both players select a character that they are going to be, and I've already done that. The one character here is going to be the Frackers. They're the only team that's more than one person, and the Frackers are 3 people. And I'll go over their abilities in a minute. The other player is going to be Miguel. This is Miguel, and so they have differences in the way they play the game. Every character that you can choose plays the game differently, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different characters that you can choose. And so the Frackers, you know what? Let me start with the basics. Each person that you can choose has 1 knife and 1 pistol with unlimited ammo to begin the game, and those are symbolized, I guess, with the symbols at the top. So take Tiff here, for instance. She doesn't get any special weapons, so her weapons at the top are what we would call typical. And the top one is her rifle, her handgun, and the bottom one is her knife. So the first symbol, the star, shows you that it's a shooting weapon. That means it's the pistol and not the knife. And the second one, which is an arrow, is a 4. And the last one is in the shape of a bullet, and it's a 4. Anytime you have a 4 in the bullet, that means unlimited ammo. Anything less than a 4 tells you how many shots you have with that weapon, either 1, 2, or 3, before it's empty. So her pistol is unlimited ammo. Her knife she can use unlimited times. And then the 1s in the beginning column, that's how much damage they do. And the second column on the range of 4 means that it is unlimited range. She can shoot every zombie on her board every turn with that pistol for 1 damage. The 2, that's the range in her knife, means that she can stab every zombie in one of her 4 areas, one of her 4 combat zone areas, for 1 damage each every turn. So your pistol hits all of your opponents. Your knife hits all the opponents in just 1 area, and that's a pretty typical setup. So the Frackers are 3 people. They have 1 pistol between them, which is the top one, but they all 3 have knives. So they're allowed to either spam 3 different areas with knife attacks, or all 3 span 1 area with knife attacks, whatever they want to do. But that's their special ability, is all 3 of them have a knife. And so they're able to do a lot more stabbing than everyone else. Miguel's special ability is that his pistol, which he gets to use against all zombies, hits for 2 instead of 1. He has a little bit higher powered pistol than everybody else. And so he's able to do 2 damage to all zombies with it instead of 1. You already saw Tiff. Her special ability is that all zombies do 1 point less damage to her because she's a small target. This is El Conquistador. And he doesn't get any special weapons either. His special ability is that once every turn, he can spawn a zombie in without first having to pay the cost of that zombie. And I'll go over that in a minute. Then there's Juice. Juice has the same weapons everyone else has. He has a pistol and he has a knife, but he also has one really overpowered blaster that has a range of 2, which means it can hit everyone in one area or another out of his 4 areas. But he can only use it once. See the ammo of 1 there? But that pistol destroys all zombies in a combat area, no matter how tough, how strong, or how many there are. Then there's Quasi. Quasi does not have an upgraded pistol, but he does have an upgraded knife. He carries a sword instead. So instead of hitting all zombies in one area for 1 point, Quasi hits all zombies in one area for 3 points. Then there's Arigato. Arigato has no special weapons, but he can move a zombie that survives one of his combat areas at the end of the round. He can move a zombie from his combat area to his opponent's same combat area. Bob the Salesman, every weapon Bob picks up during the game has 1 extra ammo in it. So it doesn't help him right off the bat, but once he earns some money by killing zombies and goes to buy more weapons, he gets an extra shot in each one. There's the Viking. He can equip a weapon for free every turn as long as it costs 8 or less. Or he can use that 8 credit as partial payment for one. He can basically discount the cost of one weapon by 8 every turn. And then there's Short Stack. So while there are zombies possible in 4 different areas of your board, every turn Short Stack gets to choose one area from which she receives no damage. So if all of her zombies are in area 1, she can cancel that out and take no damage that turn. If she has zombies in area 1 and area 3, but the ones in area 3, there's a lot more of them, or they just hit harder, she can cancel out all the zombies in area 3. So she's able to avoid some damage every turn that way. So those are the 10 characters that are available for you to be in ZombArena. And now we're going to kick off the game. And we do that first by each character drawing 3 cards. So there's 3, 1, 2, 3. Now these cards are very cool. They have 3, most of them have 3 different things on them. This is a good example. So at the top, it has a weapon. This one in this case is a soda can launcher. And next to the weapon, it tells you the cost. So it costs you 16. You have to make 16 coins before you can afford to buy a soda can launcher. In the middle is a number that tells you how much this will add to a spawn point. So what that means is that 4, you can't spawn a zombie in against your opponent unless you first charge up his spawn, one of his areas with a spawn point. So that 4 means that you put that in one of your opponent's areas, and now you can put a zombie with up to 4 spawn cost within that zone against that player. Make sense? Okay. And then at the bottom of most cards is a zombie. This zombie is named Gers, because zombies don't really speak English very well. And they have 3 statistics, just like weapons do. Oh, speaking of which, look at the soda can launcher statistics. It hits for 4 points of damage. It hits a range of 2, which means it hits all zombies within one area. And you can fire it twice. So for $16, that's what you get. It's pretty expensive. The weapons are more expensive than the zombies are to spawn in. So it kind of lets you know that the name of the game is to have your opponent killed really fast and worry a little bit less, perhaps, about defending yourself, depending on which player you are. So Gears at the bottom, she has 16 health. So it would take 16 points of damage to eliminate Gears. This 12 square means that she does 12 points of damage to the player whom she attacks if she's still alive at the end of a turn. And then on the left, well, I'm sorry, it's your right here, the 8, that's how much cash you get for defeating Gears. So the 3 cards this player got, one of them only has a spawn point value on it. So that's a big one. So he's going to play that as 20 points. And now he's allowed to play up to 20 points worth of zombies into that zone for that opponent to have to fight. And look what else he drew. He drew 2 cards with zombies down here at the bottom that have a spawn cost of, and the spawn cost is the amount in the middle. Is it in the middle? It is. It's the amount in the middle that zombie does in damage. So 12 plus 8 is 20. So I have 20 spawn points there, and I'm allowed to put up to 20 points worth of zombies in that zone now. So he goes ahead and assigns both of those zombies to that zone. Let's see what the other player got. He got Old Faithful. He got a spawn of 6, and he got a tiny zombie named Tiny. He also got a plastic shiv, a spawn point of 4, and a zombie named Glarg, 12 health, 12 attack, and is only worth 4 coins. And then he got a zombie named Gurgle, 24 points, 3 attack, and 3 coins. So how does he want to do this? He definitely wants to put Glarg in, and Glarg only has a spawn cost of 12, and this card gives him a spawn of 12. So boom, 12, and he'll spawn in Glarg. And because he's already used all of those spawn points now, he can't spawn in Tiny here, and he doesn't have the money for Old Faithful, so he's going to use this 6 spawn points to begin a new spawn point for next turn. So because this spawn point was all used up, we used all 20, and this spawn point was all used up, we used all 12 of it. Those 2 cards go away. There's no longer any spawn points available here, but since this one has not been used, it can still be used. So all zombies have been spawned. Both had an option to buy weapons, but of course they don't have any money, so they were unable to do that. And now each must deal with the zombies that are in his combat zone. So first, the frackers, they will deal a lot of damage. So they're allowed to deal 1 damage with their pistol to every zombie in their zones. There's only 1 zombie, so there's the pistol damage. And then all 3 of them are allowed to deal stabbing damage to the zombies in 1 zone. So since they only have 1 zombie in 1 zone, all 3 of them stab him. He's now taken 4 points of damage. Glarg has a total of 12 health, so he's got 8 health left. And now Miguel is going to deal with his zombies. He first fires his gun, because his gun does 2 points of damage to every zombie on his list here. Boom, boom. And then he uses his knife on all zombies in 1 zone, which all of his happen to be in 1 zone. And now he's done 3 points of damage to each of those zombies. And that's the end of their combats. They've used all of their weapons, and now they take damage themselves. Now this is where the game is won and lost, is in taking damage yourself. Glarg here hits the frackers for a total of 12 points of damage. There's 5, there's 10, there's 12. And Bompurpa and Gers hit Miguel for a total of 24 points of damage. There's 5, 10, may have to get more chips, 15, 20, and 4. You know what, we're going to use yen here to symbolize 10 points of damage. So there's that 10. And then we need 2 10s over here plus another 4. So let's just move all that off. There we go. So there's 20 and there's 4. And now all the damage has been accounted for. So the key to the game, obviously, is to take as little damage as possible. And it's not easy. You need to determine before the game begins how much health each character is going to begin with. It's typically 100 points of health that each character starts with. The problem, and the reason why I said earlier that there's not always a winner to this game, is because even though your opponent may be dead at the end of a round, you still have to survive the rest of the zombies that have been spawned in against you to actually survive the game. And it is not easy. This is not a co-op game. You are trying to kill the zombies and live, and it is hard to do. So that whole round is finished. Now each character gets 3 new cards. 1, 2, 3. And now they have to decide what to do with those cards. He's got 8 health left before he can kill that guy. Here's a nice big spawn point of 24, so he's going to play that 24. And these other two have decent sized zombies on them. One of the zombies is tough, the other one hits hard. He's going to place both of those zombies in this zone, this new zone. And they have a total spawn point value of 13. So that 13 from that 24 means that there's 11 left. So what I'm going to do is put 13 damage points on that spawn point, just so we remember we've used 13 of it. And now the other player. He's got a spawn value of 12, as well as a spawn value of 4, and he can call in this Dorg, which will use the rest of that spawn value. It uses up that 6 because Dorg is a 6. And now both of them are finished, and it's time for them to deal with the zombies in their areas. So the frackers first again. All 3 of them stab in one area, and then they get to shoot into one area. And at this point, because they've already done so much damage to Glarg, and he's the harder hitter, they're going to do all that damage to him again. He's now taken 8 total points of damage out of his 12 health. So they're getting closer to getting rid of him. You know what? They're not going to do that. They're going to hit Dorg, because Dorg is worth more money, and they need the money to start getting weapons. This player is going to deal with his zombies. Oh, but you know what? Their gun does shoot all zombies. So they do a point to each of the shooting, and then 3 points of stabbing to him. Miguel gets to do 2 points of damage to every zombie with his gun. I'll move those so I can see the health a little bit better. And then he'll also do 2 here to Fleur and 2 to Bork. And then he has to choose one zombie or one zone that he gets to stab each zombie once in. And he's going to go here, I believe, because it's worth, yep, it is worth more money. Man, I hate it when I drop chips. I'll pick those up later. There we go. Both of them have dealt with all their zombies. Neither of them has finished off a zombie yet, so there's no money to be made. And now the zombies all do damage back to them. Between Glarg and Dorg, this character takes 20 points of damage. And between all of these zombies, 8 plus 16 plus 8 plus 16, that's 48 points of damage that he receives. He is taking a beating over here. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do 8. I can just do 2 plus another one of those. There we go. So this character has now taken 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 72 damage. And the frackers have taken 32. But Miguel's about to kill a few zombies. The frackers may be about to kill one zombie. So it may flip around here pretty quick. Next turn, 3 and 3. It is not easy to live in this game. I told you that already. So they drew a card here, the frackers did, that has no spawn point on it and no weapon. It can only be used as a zombie. It's an 8-point zombie called Kedden Kark. So they're going to spawn that. That leaves only 4 points there and 4 points there. They're going to pull out Zirg, the zombie, and that uses all 4 of those points. And I think that they're going to have another 4-point spawn point right there. And so that leaves them, yeah, that leaves them no cards left. And now, oh, you know what? I'm stupid. They play those on their opponent, not on themselves. Hold on. Come here, card. That one is still there. Okay. So he's going to play the... We've spent 13. So yeah, we can play Kedden Kark right there. There we are. And then that leaves this only 3 points left. That's not true. It leaves it 5 points left. No, it only had 11 left. I spent 8, so yeah, 3 left. So I did that backwards, and that's okay. And then he's gonna pop down an 8 spawn point and then drop an 8 zombie burba on that one. There. And now the other player is gonna spend his points over here. He has a lot of stuff. Ooh, drew a great gun. It's the Imbla Saw 24, and it does, you can fire it twice. It does 3 points of damage to every zombie in all of your combat zones. So that's a really good weapon. But of course he can't afford it. It costs 24 and he has 0. But he also it doesn't give him any spawn points. So, and there's only a small zombie on that one. So he's gonna drop all 3 of these zombies. There's 12. Actually, he's not. He can't do both of those. He can't even do that one. So that'll be a 4 spawn, and then he'll drop this 1 dud zombie. So here we go. Now they both have to deal with the zombies in their areas. So the frackers do 1 point of damage to every zombie with their pistol. Whoops. There. And now the frackers are all 3 of them are allowed to stab a zombie. By the way, that 1 point of damage killed Dud here. So the frackers just killed a zombie and they get 4 yen to spend, well, 4 coins. I just happen to have yen here. And now they do some stabbing damage. All 3 of them on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're gonna stab Dorg here. And that kills Dorg, he only had 8 health. And so now they get an additional 6 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on their next turn, they will be able to hopefully buy a weapon and see if that helps them stay alive. They have 10 coins now. Miguel over here has now got to do the same. He's got to deal with some zombies. So his pistol allows him to shoot every zombie for 2, 4, 6, 8, boom, and boom. That is enough damage to kill Bomb Purple. So he gets 8 coins for having killed that one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put that on his cash there. Now he's allowed to stab all the zombies in one area. Who's he gonna stab? He is not close to killing that guy. He's not close to killing anyone else, honestly, but he's gonna use as much as possible to stab all 3 of those people in one area. And now they all take damage from the zombies that are left. These guys, the frackers, have 24 points of damage coming their way from the zombies that are in their zones. So there's 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here, they have a lot of damage coming. 12, 24, 33, 41 points of damage. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Which means if they started with 100 health, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's been hit for 113 damage. Miguel is dead. Now all the frackers have to do to survive the rest of this is to not die. They don't get any new zombies coming after them. They have to kill the ones that are already in their zones. They do still spawn or draw cards so that they're allowed to buy weapons and all that. But at this point, their only goal is to survive until all the zombies in their zone are dead. Because if they don't, they do not get set free. So here we go. They draw their 3 cards. Now, obviously they can't assign any of them to an opponent because they don't have an opponent anymore. And you're allowed to just discard cards. These 2 don't even have weapons on them. This last one has a face melter firearm. Oh, and it's a good one. But it only hits 1 zombie at a time. So they're gonna go ahead and spend their 10 coins on this face melter. See the range on it and the damage. It does 5 points of damage. It only hits a range of 1, which means 1 single zombie, and you can only fire it twice, but they're going to take it. That's the kind of weapon that they need to hopefully finish off this whole game and survive. So here we go. First, they have to deal their pistol damage to all zombies in their zones. Now they have to deal their knife damage to all the zombies that they want to, and they want to do that in this zone. 1, 2, 3. So they've now done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've done 10 damage to Glarg, and they've done 2 damage to Urka. But here's where it gets cool. They're going to fire their face melter once. That symbolizes that they shot it once and they only have 1 round left now. And that will do 5 damage to one or the other of these 2 zombies. Well, that 5 damage will kill either of them. So they're going to do that 5 damage to Urka. That kills Urka, who only had 6 health. That gives them 6 more coins. So they're going to take those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now the only one left is Glarg. Glarg, at the end of that turn, gets to hit them because you're only allowed to fire every weapon once per round. Glarg hits them for 12. So there's 10, there's 12. And they have now taken 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. I'm sorry, 68 damage. They begin the next turn by drawing 3 cards. Remember, they have 6 coins they can spend. Wow, that's interesting. So they can't afford the 22 auto rifle, which is a cool little gun. They also can't afford the clean sweep shotgun, which is a heavy hitter gun. But what they can afford is one that's free, and they found a workshop. What workshop does is it adds 2 bullets to every gun you currently have. So we're going to throw that workshop down, and now any ammo used will come off of it first before it comes out of their face melter. But it doesn't matter because the frackers have just won the game. They start with their pistol, and it does 1 point of damage to all zombies in their zones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they're at 10, that's 11. And now they all 3 stab a zombie. Boom, and that kills Glarg. Glarg is now gone and dead. They have no zombies left in their zones. And the frackers have not only eliminated their opponent, they have survived the ZombArena, and the frackers are our new champions, and they are allowed to go free. And that is a full game of ZombArena. It is hard to win. It's hard to live. It doesn't happen every match. In fact, you may have to play a few matches before someone finally wins a game, but I've proved that it's possible. So this is ZombArena. It is a very difficult, competitive zombie game where you try to defend yourself while destroying your opponent. And like all of my games, it needs some artwork added to it. The game is, as you can tell, it moves fast. It doesn't take too long to play. And what it needs is some very engaging, beautiful zombie artwork to draw the theme all together and make it all look as good as it plays. This game deserves some attention, and that's where you can help me. Go check out my Patreon page. It's Nathan Lusk, Warrior with a Pen Games, and see if there's a level on there you can help me. It's as low as $5 a month. I'm sure there's somewhere in there that you can, something on there that you can afford. The sooner we get artwork put on all of these games that I'm designing, the sooner I'll be able to have these games out to market or on Kickstarter, where you can get your hands on a copy of one of these games. I have tons of games. Check out my other videos. There's a lot of them. But most importantly, thank you for watching this video. We really appreciate it, and we know we can make you happy with one game or 100 others. I'm Nathan Lusk, Warrior with a Pen Games, and I really do appreciate your time. Happy gaming. We'll see you again at the gaming table. Thanks a lot.